what's authentic for you, it really screws with your cellular structure because we have to remember our body intelligence. And I talk about this in my book, Awaken Your Wealth, that our bodies are way smarter than our minds. And we don't even realize that because our whole educational system around the entire globe has to do with how smart are we? How good is our left brain? Like, we don't realize there's actually 7 different ways that human beings actually learn. And there's only 2 of those that are actually recognized in our educational structure. What's going on? Julie Murphy here, and we are going to talk today about, are you feeling financially confused? Not a surprise. There's a lot going on in the world these days, particularly financially. So don't forget, hit that subscribe, like, and notification bell. Why? Because I am going to help you get to a life that you absolutely love. And I'm going to walk you through an exercise today that a bit esoteric of how to work through your financial confusion. But I can tell you, every single time I do this with a client, they land exactly where they want to be. Over the last 29 plus years that I've been a financial planner, I've learned a couple things financially, and they're not all always left brain linear logical. Sometimes we have to move away from that linear left brain because this is why you feel confused. And so many people do not realize that that tug and pull is the difference between your right brain and your left brain, and your heart and your mind, your internal divine masculine, which is the mind, and your internal divine feminine, which is your heart. And what we need to do is we need to get these 2 things in alignment. It's a concept called coherence. And we really need to get to this place of really understanding that this has a lot to do with why we have financial confusion. So are you ready for this exercise? I'm ready to pull you through here. And don't forget, go to juliemurphy.com. I have group coaching sessions that I start once a quarter. We have emails that help support you twice a week. And we have all kinds of videos. Subscribe, like, and share, because we are here to get you to a life that you love. So I need you to take a piece of paper. All right, you ready? Take a piece of paper. Now, I need you to, let's say you're financially confused about what? I want you to decide what is your most financial confusing thing to do. Now, keep in mind, this may not have to do with making a direct money decision, but maybe it's about, do I take that job? Or do I hold this boundary with a friend? Or this is about when you are so used to, on a cellular level, not making decisions from a place of being yourself and doing what's authentic for you, it really screws with your cellular structure. Because we have to remember our body intelligence, and I talk about this in my book, Awaken Your Wealth, that our bodies are way smarter than our minds. And we don't even realize that because our whole educational system around the entire globe has to do with how smart are we? How good is our left brain? Like, we don't realize there's actually 7 different ways that human beings actually learn. And there's only 2 of those that are actually recognized in our educational structure. So this has pretty much taken the majority of people and told them that they don't necessarily do it the right way. And we're all at different, spectrums of that. But this is where the shame and the blame and the guilt and the judgment comes around how we show up in our decision-making process around our money. And we have to start to recognize this. So on this piece of paper, whatever it is, and you can use this for your money, you can use this, again, I say that we work things out and we act it out through our money, through our health, or our relationships. So this can actually work with any aspect of your life, but I'm trying to get you so that you have less confusion, because your left brain's telling you one thing and your right brain is sitting there and your heart is sitting there going, I don't know. And then all these emotions come up when we're scared, almost on some level, frightened, because we turn into that little girl or that little boy that got rejected when we were younger. And that's actually what we're working through, which is why you're confused, because you were slapped on the hand in some way, somehow when you were a kid. And it was telling you you were the wrong version. And this is how it's hardwired into our brains. So I want you may be looking at, let's just say you have 4 different options. So we're going to take this piece of paper. We're going to rip them in 4 different pieces. Okay. Now, whatever it is that you are financially confused about, maybe it's about like you have all this stuff at large, the world going on. At the time that I'm making this video, we don't know if we're in a stock market correction. Are we in a recession? You got a war going on in Ukraine, and you've got inflation hitting the United States and around the world. And there's all these things that could certainly put your radar up, right? Make you a little nervous about things. And maybe you're sitting here and you're like, I am really confused and whether or not, like, do I really take this step forward? Because I'm not really sure what's going to happen with all these things out here that are a little like volatile, right? Like it might be making you a little nervous, but you're confused because your inside is not matching the outside world. And I need you to trust that inside because it's the only right answer always. So I want you to write down item number 1. What is one option and one choice? So one option and one choice. So in my world, I could pick probably 10 different things I could do this exercise with. So let's say we keep it easy with something that you want to say, like, should I spend this money or not spend this money? So they say, like, I'm going to just use this as an example. Like, do you want a boat? Do you want to buy a boat? Actually, boat's not. How about a house? Use a house. Because I have a lot of people who are like, should I sell my place? Should I not sell my place? Interest rates are going up. Should I be buying at this interest rate level? Whatever that story is, write it down. House now. Sell it now. Buy it now. Whatever. Put house. Option number 2, stay put. So you're staying put. You're not selling or buying anything. Option 3 might be, I'm going to sell and rent. I don't know, that could be option number 3. And option number 4 is rent out rooms in current place to create cash flow. Like maybe those are 4 options. Don't put down options that don't somewhat resonate with you. It's really important just to put down options that actually really resonate with you. So, and then I need you to fold each of these pieces of paper up. Now, this is what you're going to do to follow your intuition, because this is your body intelligence. So fold all 4 pieces of paper up. And why am I having you do this? Because so many of us are educated to almost the point that it cripples and paralyzes us. And I have found that if I have somebody who's super in their left brain, I've got to get them out of their brain. I actually did this exercise yesterday with my son on a topic because I was trying to get him to choose his heart over his head, because that's always the right answer. All right. So now you got your 4 little things and they're wrapped up and you don't know which one's which. And then what I want you to do is I want you to put like a number 1 on one of them. Then I want you to put a number 2 on the next one. You don't know which answer's in which one. And if you're trying to figure it out, stop trying to bullshit yourself. I want you to actually just write it down. And then number 3 is on the third one. And then number 4. Okay. So you've got all these things in here. All right. And I want you to take number 2. Just take one of them. Just take one of them. And then what I want you to do is I want you to put it in the palm of your hand. Then I want you to actually hold it between your 2 palms. And take a pen and a piece of paper. And I want you to tune in. And you might have to actually take a couple breaths. Be like, because you got to create space in that brain. So take 3 deep breaths. Take the second one now. Blow it out your mouth. Third one. Blow it out. Okay. What do you feel from this piece of paper in your hand? What do you feel? And at first you might be like, what is she talking about? Trust me. Can you just trust? If you're in your brain, you might need to take a couple more deep breaths. Because it does tend to work for me because I'm a financial planner. So I like to be in my left brain. And I like to figure everything out. So I have to breathe a little bit more than the average bear. So you might be with me in that camp. Plus, I'm highly educated. If you're highly educated, you absolutely need to take more than 3 breaths. I guarantee it. What do you feel from this piece of paper? I want you to write down, so for me, this is number 2. What do I feel from option number 2? Without opening it, my son yesterday when I did this with him, he's like, oh, this is the one that I picked first, Mom. And I was like, dude, you weren't supposed to open it. Don't open it. I need you to intuitively. But I will find that it's pretty funny that intuitively he actually picked one of them up and it was actually the answer he wound up at the end of the whole thing anyway. So what do you feel from it? So like when I did this with my son yesterday, what do you felt like? He goes, I don't know. I feel excited. I feel happy. And what I noticed is he had a really big smile on his face. And I said, anything else? So what else are you feeling from this first one? What else? And if you're stuck and nothing else is coming in, I need you to keep asking yourself the question, what else? What else? Okay? Once you're done with that one, pick up the next one. All right, this one's number 1. Write down number 1, and then put in your hands. You might have to take some more deep breaths again. And write down what you feel. Do not open them. I need you to feel, and I know this may not seem like something that works whatsoever, but I guarantee you it works. And then do the same for this one. Next one is number 4. So put down number 4. Breathe. What do you feel from number 4? And then when you're done with that one, I want you to pick up the last one. Or you may have done 3, you may have done 4, you may have 5 options. It's okay. It doesn't matter. How many things are you confused about? And then put them all to paper. And I want you to feel your way to the answer. I don't want you to think your way, because the monkey mind will pull you into your old conditioning. It'll pull you into your patterning. It'll pull you into your limiting beliefs. So if you're financially confused about something, that's why I want you to tune into this. Now, once you look at what you've written down on a piece of paper of how you feel about each of these numbers, I want you to decide which one do you resonate with the most. So my son, when he had his second one, he actually started to tear up on number 2 when he did it. And he's like, Mom, it just feels super heavy. And he only had 2 options when he did. You may have 3, you may have 4, but you're going to have ones that feel lighter. You're going to have ones that feel heavier, one that excites you more, one that is like neutral. You might have one going, it's not happy nor sad. It's kind of here. It's like, it's kind of flat. Might be flat. You want something that feels expansive. So out of the ones that you wrote down, which one feels the most expansive? Now, I want you to pick up that number of which one feels the most expansive, the one that feels lighter. These are the ones that allow you to go into the flow of life. These are the ones that are meeting you where you are at in your heart's desires. Open it up and know you are no longer financially confused because you got the right answer, because you aligned it with your heart and your intuition. Even though your monkey mind can't figure out the why or the how did you get there, you just need to know that that is your answer. Yesterday, when I gave my son permission to I'm like, dude, you just gave yourself permission to follow your heart instead of your head. And he was really nervous because he was going to disappoint people with the other one that felt heavy. He was afraid he wasn't going to make it and be this basketball star that he wants to be. He was afraid he was going to disappoint his dad and his coach, and maybe he wouldn't make it onto the gold team. I'm like, dude, let's work through that then. How do you want to communicate it? And it's about standing in your truth so you're no longer confused. So by standing in your truth and choosing the one that felt the most expansive and the lightest, that will get you out of your confusion because you're actually aligning yourself with your authentic self. And it also illustrates to you how you're not showing up authentically you in other areas of your life. So I hope this was helpful. And again, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell. Why? Because I'm going to get you to a life that you absolutely love. And join me at juliemurphy.com because we have lots of resources to help you get there. Take care, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye.